Hey guys, question for Mirko. Mirko, you're fighting Junior Dos Santos next week. What are your thoughts on him, and have you followed his UFC career at all?
Dos Santos is definitely one of the young lions in the UFC, and he's a good fighter, and he had 2 fights in the UFC, won both of them with KO in the first round, and it will be a tough fight. I train hard, and it's definitely going to be a tough fight.
And Mirko, I know before the last fight you expressed a desire to be active and fight more often here in the UFC. Is that something we're going to be seeing next few months, coming years from you?
Well, I hope so. It depends of the injuries. If everything goes well, I expect to fight for the new year, or at least in January. So we will see. I'm fighting now in practically the end of September. I have to take 2 weeks rest, and then I will start training. I need 10, 11 weeks to prepare. It's about New Year or beginning of January. I expect the next fight.
Mirko, you said when you came back to the UFC prior to UFC 99 in Germany that the first fight you hadn't felt like the old Mirko Cro Cop. You had a good win in Germany. I wondered if you felt more comfortable in the cage. If you could just talk about how you felt last time out.
Well, I feel much more comfortable now in the cage, and I train all the time in the cage, and I have my own cage in my gym, and I felt really good in my last fight in Germany. I think I'm on the right way. I think I'm just like I used to be in my old days.
And Mirko, there was some confusion over the fight about with some reports that you were headed elsewhere. You're staying with the UFC. This is where you want to be. Then I take it those reports were erroneous.
I don't think I should give any comment for the rumors. That are coming all the time on the net, and there are hundreds of people that know something. That everybody knows some things that even I don't know, but of course I'm staying with UFC, and that's a place where I'm happy. And I don't think I should give any more comment for that rumors.
What was the circumstances after and leading to the signing with a new contract? I mean, and the discussions with Dream. I mean, were there ever any serious discussions with Dream? What was going on the week before and say the week after the first fight in UFC or the first fight back?
Well, to tell the truth, Dream was interesting for me to keep fighting there. As you know, when I left UFC and I signed a 3-fight deal with Dream, my contract with Dream expired for the New Year, after New Year fight, and I was free to fight wherever I want. During my rehabilitation, Dana called me, and I called Dana. We were in contact, and I expressed the wish to participate. German event. We made the deal for the German event. It was a single fight, but I told Dana that I want to keep fighting, and everything was pretty much clear, And then so many kind of rumors came from the internet. This, that, but there is no truth in any of this. I was able to choose. I was free on the market, and I wanted to go in the hardest and in only global organization today. It's UFC, and I think that every true fighter should fight in the UFC today, because UFC definitely is the only worldwide organization today. All other organizations, with all respect, that I made my career in Japan. I liked Dream more. I liked Pride more than anything, but those days are gone, and UFC is the main on the UFC, on the old MMA market today. And I think my place is to fight on the UFC, and that's it. There was nothing, you must understand that first of all, this is business, so many different stories appear from many different sources, but it has nothing to do with me. I was fair with Dana White, talking with him, with UFC. I was fair with Dream, and I told Dream that I will accept better deal, better challenge for me, and UFC is definitely for a fighter better chance, And That's all. There is no mystery in that. There is no mystery. And I decide, of course, to take UFC offer, and that's it. There is no misunderstanding, you know.
First of all, you've talked a little bit about UFC and how important it is to you. But I want to talk a little bit about how important it is, how you feel to be back in the UFC. I know we heard Vitor answer that a little bit. And also, what you think of the UFC's heavyweight division now. I mean, I know that you say you want to fight for a title again. How long do you think it'll take for you to get there, and who do you see are some of the other contenders?
UFC heavyweight division is very hard at the moment. There are some new fighters are coming, like Junior, like Karin, like Velasquez, and it is getting stronger and stronger every day. As MMA as a sport is spreading all around the world, new fighters are coming from a different kind of sports and training, and it will be tougher and tougher, you know, to take the belt, you know. And but I don't want to think too much in the future. I just want to go step for the step. First, I want to be concentrated on my first fight against Junior, and then we will see, you know, who is going to be my opponent next. I don't know, but if I'm going to take both of those fights, I believe the third fight will be the title shot. You know, it depends, of course, from the other side what Dana and Lorenzo will say, you know, and how they feel about it. But I just want to go step for the step.
Feel personally to be back in the UFC. I know you've had that. You've had one fight back in the octagon, and how did that feel, and how does it feel now to be?
I feel good, and I'm very happy that I returned to UFC. And as I told you, the UFC is the only one who can offer me the excitement, you know, and the challenge, sports challenge, you know. And because I told you, as I told before, the other organizations are just surviving, and more or less they have local character, and UFC is only global organization today, and I really think my place is to fight there.
You had a fight with Alistair Overeem, who the UFC's been courting, that ended, I think it was either a DQ or a no contest. It seems since you'll be fighting with UFC, a rematch could only happen on U.S. soil, but he seems to be refusing fights in the U.S. Do you have any thoughts on that, why he may be only fighting overseas?
I don't know. I don't want to go in his reasons, you know.
Okay, would you look for a rematch if it became possible, if he were to sign with the UFC?
If he signed with UFC, of course, I will be happy to fight a rematch with him.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Next, we'll go to Nick Solomon from jabsandgrabs.com.
Hey, good morning. The first question I have is for Mirko Cro Cop. There's always a high level of expectation for you as far as your performances go. What did you say that you did to improve your performances from the past to now in the UFC?
Well, first of all, I trained in the cage. That's a very important thing, and I underestimated the cage because I used to train all my life in the ring. That's one thing, and I trained a lot of wrestling. I trained a lot of jiu-jitsu, you know. I trained a lot of elbow attacks, and I trained harder than before. That's all. There is nothing much new I can learn, actually, in the fighting, but some small details that are important for cage fighting, I did, you know. I did a lot of improvement, you know, for small things.
What do you expect as far as the outcome of this fight? How is it going to end?
I don't know. I think every fighter expects to win, you know, and I hope I will win, of course. My opponent hopes that he wins. Every true fighter, and I'm sure my opponent is, of course, wishes to finish the fight as soon as possible, possibly with KO, and definitely to leave the cage with his hands in the air, you know. But we'll see. He trained hard. I train hard, you know. He's younger. I'm a more experienced fighter, and we will see.